Sex is the backbone for superhero media, but is that a good thing or a bad thing? As we all should know, comics are the source material for pretty much every superhero film, cartoon, or video game we have to date, and comics are widely known to be hypersexualized, simply because of these main reasons. 1. Comics are drawn, and with that, it gives the publishers a lot of creative freedom, so to make the characters a lot more attractive, they draw them with exaggerated features to capture the eyes and the attention of the reader. So they'd make the male superheroes with big biceps and an 8-pack abs, and for the ladies, well, they'd hardly have on any clothes. For functionality reasons, of course. Which brings us to our next reason. When comics were just made, they were mainly targeted at adolescent boys. And you know, teenagers love to see the big bazonkers capturing their eyes on the comic book shelves and beating their competitors. Paired with the fact that men are most of the ones that draw the illustration for comics, we have a very clear understanding of why women are so hypersexualized in comics. Now, you might think that this is a bad thing since men sexualizing women means they're objectifying them. But back then, that wasn't necessarily the case. Superheroes should be a visual representation of what peak human capabilities are in all aspects. So to properly depict that, they had to make superheroes with features that everyone would want, basically hyper-idealizing them, which I understand how easy it is for you to see that as sexualizing. Maybe it is, but you know, I'm gonna leave that up to you guys to decide. Regardless of whatever conclusion you want to come to, sex in comic book heroes is like smoke is to fire. They just work really well together. This could also be because of the origins of comics as well, because before comics were, well, comics, they were first featured in pulp magazines, which are magazines that consisted of short fictional stories, a lot of which were very sexualized and provocative. So I personally believe that sex is something that is necessary when making a good superhero related film, movie, or etc. And that's because none of the main reasons I mentioned before have changed. Men are still the main consumers of superhero-centric media, and the truth is, we're visual creatures that get a lot of dopamine from what we see. So capitalizing on that is really just being smart. Of course, that isn't enough to make a good superhero-centric game, movie, TV show, or film, but if the sex appeal is there and the story is good, I can guarantee you that it'll be successful. Take The Boys for example, or even something more recent like Creature Commandos, or the brand new Marvel Rivals game. Creature Commandos specifically is about characters some of us have never heard about, but it still has very provocative imagery. I was surprised to see some of the things that I saw in this series, to be honest, but regardless, this show kept the viewers hooked, and after seeing past the sex, everyone could appreciate the writing and just how beautifully made this show was. Marvel Rivals is pretty much the same because I didn't know who Squirrel Girl was until the game released, and she was trending very hard, not because of her abilities or anything, but mainly because of the design. She was trending a few weeks ago, and pretty much so is every other female character they released. And the game is pretty damn good regardless of how sexy they made Sue Storm. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down below. Quick side note, I think Rule 34 artists are undefeated because these guys are the fast